Over 90% of the year, the Norfolk Cherry Company processing plant stands silent testimony to agribusiness courage, vision, and innovation. But for 3 glorious weeks of focused intensity, it becomes Ontario Tart Cherry Central, home to a rampaging 10 million pound river of Montmorency cherries, flowing from area orchards through to flavor and health-minded consumers throughout North America.
You wake up, you go to the cherry plant, you go home, you sleep. That's your two to 3 weeks. But you know that going in, you prepare for it and you deal with it, and there's really no other way to do it, because once that cherry's ready, like, you're losing quality every second that it's not in a bucket or not in the freezer.
Necessity was the mother of invention for the Norfolk Cherry Company, formed by a group of area producers when the facility they were shipping to closed in the early 1970s.
It was, okay, do we rip out all the trees, or do we figure out this whole cherry processing thing and go at it ourselves? So they got a group came together and decided, all right, we're going to put up a cherry pitting facility, and we're going to figure this out, and we're going to do it ourselves. The way Dad described it, just a bunch of farmers figuring out how to be processors. And then as time went on, like with most of agriculture, it consolidated. You got fewer guys doing more and more.
Contemporary success is built squarely on the pioneering efforts of that founding generation.
Having that vision of what this could be and executing and seeing it through. It's tremendous what the previous generations have been able to achieve. I only hope my generation can keep adding to that. We want to be able to take this business into new directions if and when opportunities occur. So that's what really is kind of exciting, like, where can we be 5 years from now? Where can we be 10 years from now?
Spring cherry blossoming is a time of great beauty and, coincidentally, great risk of frost damage. Taking a crop of hay from under the trees is one way to maximize orchard potential. Following pollination, farmers execute pest and disease control in the intervening period through until harvest, typically in July.
When it's time to go, you got to go. Like, you just got to act. When the cherries are ready, they got to come off the tree. There is no waiting around. There is no, oh, I want to take a weekend off because it's July. It's like, okay, you can do that, but your crop's going to fall on the ground. That's why we're so gung-ho about it, is like, the sooner you get them processed into the freezer, the better they'll last. That's the big thing with cherries, is all we're doing is taking them from a perishable to a non-perishable state.
There is no hand picking for Montmorency cherries, which are harvested mechanically by machinery which effectively shakes individual trees and collects falling fruit.
The shaking machine is 2 parts, and they got tarps around it. One machine will grab the trunk and just shake it, and just all the cherries fall off, land on the tarps, fall onto conveyor, and we'll convey them into steel tanks that already have chilled water in them. When the tanks get full, we'll load them up on a truck and deliver them to the cherry plant for unloading. We have chiller rooms. We will put pipes in to run cold water through the tanks. Again, bring the field heat out of the cherries to get them down to, you would hope them to be kind of just above zero, maybe 35, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. That takes anywhere 6 hours minimum. Ideally, you'd leave them in there a day, but you can't always leave them that long. And the whole point of doing that is you want that cherry to firm up, because it's going to go through a bunch of processing equipment, and if it's soft, if it's any type of softness to it, it'll just mash up, and you lose the character of the cherry, and you could get pits in it, because it's much harder to get the pits out when the cherry's all mush versus when it's right hard like a marble. Once the cherries are chilled, we put them into the line and we'll run them through equipment. And basically what all that equipment in the plant does is remove the stems, remove the leaves, remove the twigs, remove anything that's not a cherry, run them through pitting machines to remove the pit or the seed in the center, and then put them into pails, cover them with a layer of sugar, seal them up, put them on as pallets, and put them into a freezer, and then sell them. We can go through about 40,000 pounds per hour, which is, that's a big jump. When I started, like, doing half of that was that was a big hour. If you could do 20,000 pounds an hour, and now this year we're doing 40, and you're not even noticing. It's like, really, we got that much through? That's a credit to senior management, really being forward thinking and looking. It's like, okay, we got this many trees in the ground, they're going to start producing cherries. How long does it take us to process? Okay, yeah, our plant's not fast enough. We gotta invest, we gotta expand, we gotta grow. So, which is great because now we've gotten to the point, it's like, okay, yes, we can get the fruit off, we can get off in good time. Growers are bringing us quality stuff. We're able to preserve that quality, get it into the pail, get it off to our customers. I think the story was that it was 500,000 pounds was the entire crop when they started. We do 500,000 pounds a day now, and we run for 2 to 3 weeks. We have the capacity to process 12 million pounds of cherries. The last couple years we've done 9 or 10. This year might be around 8 because it depends on crop volumes, but we see, yeah, long term about 10 million pounds being kind of the number. You can't be packaging low quality products. Like, you know, if you're going to grow your markets, people have to know they're going to get a consistent quality product from you. So put a lot of time and effort into that, and I think we're starting to see the benefits of it, particularly this year. Saying that, I mean, weather still a big factor on that. If we had poor weather during pollination or poor weather during harvest, doesn't matter what you do with the plants, but that's farming. It is rewarding. I would tell you it's, I don't know how much fun I'm having this time of year, but I'll tell you when we get done and we see what we've accomplished and you see what you were able to get done, what you were able to produce, and you see it carry through the value chain and you see that end product on the shelf. It's like, then you feel the pride that, okay, yeah, I helped make something. I helped make something that people are buying and people are enjoying.
The Norfolk Cherry Company takes a cooperative approach with its end product. Traditionally, Montmorency cherries are enjoyed in desserts, including pies, but their end uses are expanding.
People are getting more health conscious, so we're shifting more into cherry juice is something that's caught on. The cherry raisins or dried fruit that you see like in granola bars or in trail mixes, those are the growing markets for cherries, and there's been a lot of studies done in the US about the health benefits of tart cherries, a lot on athletes for recovery, a lot of improving of sleep. I know there's people who swear by it for their arthritis, so those types of things. So just getting that message out to people. I love these things. I think they're an amazing product. They have a whole bunch of uses. You can't expect people to know that on their own. People are busy. They got all kinds of information coming at them. You got to find a way to get people's attention and like get them like trying the product, and like I think there's room for demand to grow. I'm excited to see what we can do going forward.
The plant runs day and night during the frenetic harvest period.
It's 2 shifts. Shift length varies year to year depending on how long we think we need the shift to run. I'd say 60 people per shift, so 120 people total each year, which can be a challenge to source because you're hiring people for 2 weeks and then it's 7 days a week. So to find people who kind of fit in that time window can be a challenge. But we seem to pull it off every year.
In conclusion, the industry is one which defies succinct summation.
The cherry industry in 10 to 12 seconds. It is, let's say, organized chaos. How about that? Very, very hectic, a lot of stuff going on. Feel like you're always being run off your feet, but knowing that at the end of the day, you're doing something you're going to produce something that's value to people. I know, like, we get people coming up to the door and like wanting like maybe like a 14-pound or a 30-pound pail of cherries and talking about how excited they are. Just, like, oh, I'm going to have pies throughout the year now. Or we've had the last couple of years, we've had families come down and they're just so excited, like, oh, can I go see the orchard? Can I go pick some cherries? Or can I see your processing line? People are amazed at the processing line, like what goes on. The fact that level of automation and sophistication and investment for 2 to 3 weeks per year, and then it doesn't run. Like, you come any other time of year, it's an empty building with a bunch of machinery just sitting idle. But to see it all running, to see everything flowing together, and to like go from 0 to 100% like we're able to do, I always thought it was impressive. It was impressive when I first started, and just seeing what we've been able to do, as time goes on. it's a lot of fun. That's fun. Like when you sit back after and you realize, okay, what were we able to accomplish? That was a lot of fun. When you're down in it and like you're not getting enough sleep and you're kind of run off your feet, you're wondering, okay, what am I doing this for? But then when you step back, it's like, yeah, like we accomplished something here. We accomplished something pretty impressive. So you get set. That's where you get your satisfaction out of it.